Welcome to the first edition of This Just In, live from none other than my own house, as we're all stuck here in quarantine. And the first official guest is the one and only Jason Bunker. Jason, for those of you out there who do not know Jason, he's very well known in the drag racing community, but tell everyone a little bit about who you are, a little bit about yourself.
Well, you introduced Jason Bunker. Grew up in drag racing, if that's the background there. From Northern California, grew up in Folsom, California. My grandfather raced, my father raced. Long history in drag racing there. Just been around racing since day one, since I kind of grew up at the racetrack. Grew up going to racetracks all over the country, and now starting to really make a living out of this. So it's a good time.
So let me ask you this question. Is drag racing something you always knew you wanted to do? Did you ever want to do anything else, or did you ever want to do any other kind of racing?
No, it's pretty much always been drag racing. I didn't always know I wanted to do drag racing to this extent, but I always had, a passion for it. You know what I mean? It was like kind of second nature. The only other thing that I ever wanted to do was professional baseball player, and I never saw that through. So
we all do. That's fair enough. We all want to be professional athletes, including myself. And then my dream kind of stopped when I stopped growing at like 5'6", but that's just part of the deal,
Yeah, it happens.
So tell us a little bit about what your roles are, what your responsibilities are at Davis Motorsports.
Basically, I manage the day-to-day, general manager of the deal. As far as from a business standpoint, kind of take the front on a lot of things that Dustin, doesn't have the time to take care of. It doesn't have the, he's got a business to run, Davis Demolition, and I pretty much take and run the Davis Motorsports portion of his Davis umbrella, and keep it going on a day-to-day. And then at the racetrack, work with all the guys, work with everybody to try to make sure everyone's on task, make sure everyone's got everything they need, get the car ready to go, and basically try to make things as smooth as possible on all fronts: racetrack, away from the racetrack, travel, everything.
Mr. Do-It-All, essentially, for Davis Motorsports. It is what it is. Even the
I don't
marketing.
know about that.
Now, you have experience in marketing. Right now, marketing is such a large part of the drag racing community because without marketing partners, you're not going to be out there racing.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I've got a background in some marketing, sales and marketing background, in automotive, really, in the automotive aftermarket, and this kind of fits that to perfectly.
So let's go right into the actual racing portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to the last time we raced. It was in Arizona, the second race of the year. The car was running great. We qualified number 5, Davis Motorsports team, better than we ever qualified before.
Yeah,
we feel great. Everything's ready to go Sunday morning. Right before E1, eliminations are, let's say, 11 o'clock. It's now 10:50, and the car still will not fire on the warm-up. There is no clue what's going on. It's process of elimination, but I need your honest answer. I'll tell you what I was thinking, but I need your honest answer. It's 10-2, can't figure out what's going on. We're third pair. We got to get up there. What are you thinking at that point in time?
We took a really good weekend and made it a really bad showing going into first round. But we got it, you know what I mean? Nobody gave up. We kept digging, and, we found what the problem was. And credit to every single person that jumped in there. You know what I mean? I mean, Aaron, Chris, myself, you got Jack, you got Nick, you got all these guys diving around this car trying to find out what the problem was. And we got it. We found it and fired it on one mag, wouldn't fire on the other. Was essentially what the problem was there. And we got it to fire on the second mag. We didn't even warm it up on nitro before the run. We made sure it fired on both mags and drug it up there, and it was pretty remarkable that we got it fixed, got it done. I mean, just in the nick of time. I think first pair had already run, second pair was firing up as we rolled down around the corner. We strapped you in the pit area. It was chaos. It
was nuts. There was literally an escort from the guys at NHRA to make sure that
it's cool, and that's the thing. I think Phoenix is really difficult to get in and out of the pit area. You know what I mean? It's tight, it's narrow. Usually they want us to go all the way down, towards the end of the track, and they kind of loop back towards the staging lanes. Well, they gave us an escort up to the front, up to that front gate. And, fans and everybody were cheering us on. I mean, it was pretty cool. And we made it, went 72. I think we took out Scott Palmer, and you know, it was a good save, put it that way, because we were dead in the water about 10 minutes before that.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in when you have to go, for some reason, you have to go through things like that at some point or another. I don't necessarily know why, but it's a testament to the group, and you end up becoming better because of it later on.
Yeah, man, it's one of those things where you think you can do it, you think you know what you're doing, you think you know how to do everything right, and then you get in that situation where you've got to do it, and it's unannounced, and it's you know, it's pass or fail at that moment. There is no gray area on getting that. It's either it's right or it's wrong, and we got it right. And that's a test, like you said, it's a testament to the guys, it's a testament to the group, testament to the team we put together over here.
Absolutely. No, 100%. And the guys just did a great job from start to finish right there. And it's just one of those things where you can finally exhale when that runs over. Take a deep breath, move on to the next round, and try and put that behind you, because that
when you did the burnout, I exhaled.
Well, that was my next question, is when we actually got the car fired and we're going to the water box, you had to be thinking to yourself, okay, just go straight, make it down the track. First thing, I'll tell you, first thing was I was thinking when we were up there was, I really hope this car starts. That was the first thing I was thinking. This car, if it starts and we could do a burnout and backup, I think we'll be okay. But you had to be nervous. When we were even just rolling into the beams, you had to be nervous.
Yeah, well, it's you know, and then you get into just the little things where it's like you roll up there and it's like, did we get everything? Do we have everything? You know what I mean?
Right.
It was chaos. And yeah, we get up there, hang the starter on it, spin it over, and then, you know, you get the go signal and it's like, here you go. See what happens. You know what I mean? And it all worked. You know what I mean? And testament to Aaron too on that, because that was tough. You go into first round, it's cool, it's tight, it's fast, and you know you got to make a solid run. And luckily we had made that run on Saturday night. We got the one run in with the rain out, and it was pretty similar. You know what I mean? So you go up there, drag it up there, and it was the best run we'd made to the ever with you behind the wheel. Were those two runs back to back. And I think that run first round, it shot the belt off it right in the lights and shut off just a tick early, but it was about 100th or two quicker than it was on the 70 flat run. So yeah, I think you got to tip your caps to Aaron all the way down, everybody on this team. We all have been doing a pretty good job, and you got a bunch of guys who don't have a lot of experience in this kind of racing necessarily at the professional level. You got a lot of racing experience, but not at this level. And to show up and put on a performance, put out our best foot and give ourselves a chance to go some rounds has been, a good thing. It's been a good shot in the arm for everybody, and it's been a good source of encouragement. I mean, it's not like we're out there, winning races, but, we'll walk before you run, make the best we can, and at some point we'll get there.
Well said. You always got to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
And it's about momentum, and I think the team has a lot of momentum moving forward. Yeah. That now has stopped suddenly as we're in this relative lockdown and relative routine. But the amazing thing about it is everyone is going through it. I'm not talking about racing is one thing, but I'm talking about communities, families, lives. And while I'm on this topic, I do want to thank all the frontline workers, all the nurses, all the doctors, even the people who are working as grocery store clerks right now or in gas stations. Thank you, because society would not be functioning without you guys saving people's lives. And with that being said, how is this shaking up your life? What did your life look like before this? And I see you're broadcasting from home just like me.
Yeah, I'm at home
right now. What does it look like now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm, at home. We're, my wife and I, we've got, our 4 little kids, and we've got a lot going on, being, my wife has been ridiculous with this. You know what I mean? Her daily, we're lucky enough she can be a stay-at-home mom, and she has the most ridiculous job ever in doing that. And her being able to, spend some more time with the kids, and, the learning never stops here, whether we were on break or we weren't, or the kids were in school every day. They're always doing something. They're always, painting, drawing, reading books, writing, and all that stuff. And now that's a whole nother level. You know what I mean? And kind of credit to the school systems for getting involved with them to, put together some programs to keep kids reading, doing math, writing, getting on. We do these Zoom meetings with teachers now, and get all the students on, and it's one big cumulative effort that the school systems are putting together. So day to day right now, it's a lot of being daddy daycare, being a teacher, You know, we've done a lot of yard work around the house, a lot of stuff around the house that I hadn't been able to do in the last few months, just traveling and doing the racing. It's been kind of nice to get these projects around the house and, keep wife happy, because that's what makes it all work, right?
Happy wife, happy life. You have to be.
Happy life.
And if nothing else, it has allowed you to spend some time with the Bunker Bunch, your family,
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
children, and your wife. And when this all passes, because this too shall pass eventually, what do you think the current state of NHRA looks like? Because we know on our schedule right now we're supposed to return June 5th at Gainesville. We know what's going on in society. Do you think that's realistic? And, where do you think the NHRA has to go from here? Are they kind of stuck in a corner like the other sports?
And I think they are taking a good approach to it, being kind of, touch and go with it. I think that's the right approach. I don't think you want to sell too much positivity. You don't want to sell too much negative. They've given themselves, it looks like, a couple good alternative dates for, like if Gainesville doesn't happen, there's I think the third week after Indy, they gave themselves the makeup date for the Gainesville race, and then they gave themselves a makeup date, I believe, for Houston. Was that correct? That's a few weeks after that. I want to say after St. Louis or something like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know where they're going to go. I think they're going to play it by ear. I mean, I feel like the racing community as a whole is going to go when the professional sports go. And until you see that happen, you're not going to see any sanctioned NASCAR, IndyCar, drag racing event, in my opinion. I don't think anybody wants to be the first one to go back and, put the toe in the water,
No, I agree. I think that, NHRA is doing what they can for now, but at the end of the day, everyone's going to be looking at each other.
Yeah, everyone's going to be staring at each other, looking who's going to go.
Exactly. And
first, and I don't know. I mean, maybe NHRA. I don't know. Maybe that June date with everything that's going on right now. That's less than 2 months away.
Yeah.
I mean, unless something happens drastically, I don't know if that's even going to happen. Myself, I don't feel like that's necessarily going to be the date. I don't know. You've heard rumors. I've seen them online where Brainerd, Indy, somewhere around there. That late August type of thing.
Right.
I think as a whole, though, I mean, the NHRA's deal right now, there's no sanctioned NHRA events anywhere. Like, you can't do anything at all under an NHRA sanctioned event. And, I mean, for that, I mean, there's a lot of racing around the country. Everybody's doing the same thing. What are we doing? Where are we going? When can we go racing again? When can this happen? But at the end of the day, the safety of everybody is first. You know what I mean? First and foremost, whatever's going on needs to be taken care of correctly.
Absolutely. We need to get people back out working again, safe and healthy.
Absolutely.
Living in the environment that we were before this whole thing happened.
Absolutely. Build it back up.
Eventually that will happen. Now, I'm going to ask you a little bit of a funny question.
Go.
So bear with me here. I want to know two-part question, your best memory in all your years of drag racing, what your best moment was, whether it was getting to drive, whether it was winning a race. But then I need you to follow that up with probably and I could share mine, but your most embarrassing moment ever.
Oh, okay. Well, first off, this is goofy. I've never even driven down a racetrack in my entire life.
And how many years have you been involved in racing?
I don't know. I'm 34, so 34.
34, yeah.
I'm 34. Exactly. So I mean, that's the thing. So I mean, I just had to say that because people don't. My wife's driven down a racetrack more than me, and she didn't even grow up around racing. So
that's awesome.
So best memory in racing, not professionally. This is going to be winning the Nightfire Nationals in Boise, Idaho, with Mark Metters in his Pro Mod car. That was a huge win. Win a Wally, you know what I mean? That was a really, really good one. I mean, that was a good time. I mean, that's one of my favorite facilities in the country. Probably one of the best run racetracks. The new family does a great job. They're along the lines of the Baders. So, I mean, that spells exactly what it is. The Baders. I mean, first class through and through. Red, white, and blue, America proud. You know what I mean? That's how both those two families are, and that was the top of my list right there. Most embarrassing
that you're willing to share, that can be shared.
Yeah, no, I've got an embarrassing one. We qualified number 1 California Hot Rod Reunion. Number 1 qualifier, go up first round, and we had the plug wires crossed and lost first round because it wasn't happy. That was embarrassing. Number 1 qualifier, great weekend up until that point. It was the last race we ran Mark's Pro Mod car before he switched to Nostalgia Funny car. So we were geared up. We qualified number 1. We're all happy. We're all up there for first round, and embarrassing. No, having to walk back. That's like a walk of shame.
I think at all points if you race long enough throughout your life, you're going to have so many almost more embarrassing moments than you're going to have good moments.
Yeah, you're always going to have bad moments. It's cool. We put the dragster together the first time, right? We put the dragster together. This is before we went to the racetrack, right? So me and Lance and Chris, we get this thing all done. I want to say maybe Austin was there. We go to fire it up. Chris is in the car. Tom was there. And so we go to fire it up. I put the mags in it, and I put them in 180 out. That wasn't good.
No.
It wanted to backfire. It made some ugly noises. And just, that's embarrassing. You know what I mean?
All part of the learning experience.
We get this whole thing done. We get ready to go fire it for the first time and, made a mistake. So, that was embarrassing.
You just got to shrug your shoulders and move forward.
Yeah. We just don't do it again. That's the thing.
That's the key.
Just don't do it again. So
I'm going to end this interview. But before I do, we got to end the interview in 2 ways. Okay? Good. That's how we're going to do it. And you get to choose, which is good. We need either your best dad joke, and you are a father of 4. So that's fine. So if you have one on you, that would be great. If not, that's okay. But what it does require is you to stand up and give me your best dance move. So it's one or the other. You can do both if you want. I won't disallow you from doing both. But I need a dance move or I need a dad joke.
The dad, I use this all the time. My oldest daughter hates me. She'll come downstairs and she's like, Dad, I'm hungry. And I'm like, hi, hungry, I'm Dad. And she's 12, and she looks at me like I'm the dumbest human being on the planet. But that's I still use that one to this day, and it's not great, but
it's a dad joke.
I get a reaction. I've heard some good dad jokes, but I don't use them. That's one I use. You know what I mean?
All right, yeah, one you use on a consistent basis. That's fine. You could use it with your kids. Do you want to give me a dance move, or are we going to hold that off for now?
I don't dance.
No dance. All right, I'm with the dad joke. That's fine.
I know you're a young kid, but I'm 34. I might hurt a hip here, man.
That's fine. We'll leave it alone. But thank you for coming on. I appreciate the time.
Oh, yeah.
I want to wish you and your family health and safety during this period of time. I want to wish everyone watching health and safety during this period of time. Jason Bunker, car chief extraordinaire, Mr. Do-It-All at Davis Motorsports. Thank you, Jason, for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Like you said, I want to wish everybody and their families, friends, anybody they know, this is a time to be safe and be smart, and everybody needs to follow task on that. And I thank you for the time. Thank you for having me on, man. You know what I think of you, so I think this has been a good time, man.
Appreciate it, Jason. Thank you. Stay safe.
You too, bud.